I've been feeling a little bit anxious lately, and I could not figure out why. Why do I feel that way? And then it dawned on me. It's because summer is almost here, and I hate summer. Okay, maybe hate is a strong word. I mean, I do like 4th of July and my birthday is in summer. But for the most part, I profusely dislike summer. I am stressed out and tired a lot of the time, and by the end of it, I'm so exhausted that usually once the kids go back to school, I feel like I need a couple of weeks just to recover. Can anybody relate? So that led me to ask myself some questions and to be honest about what it is about summer that stresses me out, and more specifically, what I can do about it. What are some solutions I can come up to these problems that I face that make me stressed, that make me tired, that make me anxious, that leave me so exhausted at the end of the summer that all I want to do is go get a cabin in the woods and spend 2 weeks by myself in complete solitude and silence. And it's actually time for me to restock my kitchen for the summer. I'm going to be doing that today. I'm about to head out to the store. So I thought I would share with you some of the solutions that I came up with, or at least things that I'm going to try to make summer a little bit easier. I'll also share with you how I'm prepping my kitchen for summertime, and that includes a little use it up challenge, kind of clearing out my pantry, fridge, and freezer a little bit to make room for what I need for the summertime. So hopefully there are some ideas here that are helpful for you if you find yourself in the same position. Tell me I'm not alone here. I am about to head into Sam's for my once every 2 months or so obligatory Sam's haul. I try to stay away from this place if I can because it really adds up quickly, but we actually needed toilet paper and paper towels and tissues, which I only buy like maybe once a year. So I thought I would look around here for some other things that I can use to stock my summer kitchen. But before we do that, let me rewind a little bit and I'll show you how we were kind of cleaning out our freezers and using up some stuff to get ready for restocking the kitchen. I have this package of sandwich buns that I want to use up, and it's going to be a good night to have something that we can kind of eat on the go or in shifts because everybody will be kind of coming and going from the house at different times. So I think I'm gonna make some kind of chicken sandwiches in the slow cooker. Since I only had 2 chicken breasts in the freezer, I'm going to add this little package of pepperoni that I had in my emergency meals bin. See if I can bulk it up just a little bit. I did chop them in half. I also found a half jar of pesto in the refrigerator that my daughter used the other day to make some pasta, so I'm gonna use the rest of that. Plus I have a jar of pasta sauce open in the fridge as well, and I only wanna put about, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 cup or so in here. I don't want it to be too runny. And I'm not gonna season this at all because everything is seasoned save for the chicken breast. I'm just gonna pop the lid on and let this cook on low until the chicken is cooked through and tender and ready to shred up. I'm a little bit limited on my cheese options, but I do have a couple of slices of mozzarella that I can stir in here, and also a little bit of cheddar cheese, just like a little bit of sharp cheddar. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir all of this in until the cheese melts, and we'll see what I can do with plating this up. Okay, I have to say I had my doubts about this, but it actually turned out pretty good. A little bit on the salty side, but not too shabby. I mean, that's probably from the pepperonis that I threw in there as well, but really pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with this. One of the things that drives me a little bit crazy when the kids are home for extended periods of time is the number of cups that I find all over the house. It's like every single time they feel the need to get a drink of water, they get a new cup, and then it lands in some random spot. I actually shared this in my stories on Instagram, and I asked you guys to guess how many cups I rounded up just in one like walk through the house, and it was 12. It was 12 random cups, 7 of which came from the kids' rooms upstairs. For the record, I only have 3 children. Why they need 12 cups of water at any given time is beyond me. So in order to address this little problem, keep the house cluttered from all the cups, and also encourage my kids to drink a little more water, I made a rule that everybody has a water bottle, and it is in a high traffic area of our kitchen. It's right next to the coffee maker. Everybody has to walk by that area going to and from the house or to and from the kitchen. So hopefully that will not only encourage them to drink more water throughout the warm months of the summer, but it will also keep those containers in a specific spot so we don't lose them and we don't have just random cups and bottles and stuff all over the house. The water bottles we have been loving lately come from Water Drop. They are sponsoring today's video. They make an assortment of glass and stainless steel water bottles. They're absolutely beautiful. The glass ones come with a protective sleeve like this. They also make a line of kids bottles that are smaller and that have a special spout with a valve to prevent leaks and spills. Right now they're offering 15% off your purchase when you visit their website or you visit the link in the description box below and you use my code CMindyMom, 15% off your entire purchase. And in addition to water bottles, they also make water flavorings. These have a very subtle flavor, a lot more subtle than other water flavorings I've tried. So if you like a little bit of flavor and want some encouragement to drink your water, then this is definitely for you. They also make some that are caffeinated and some that have electrolytes. I have tried several of their flavors, and this is one of my favorites right here. It's called Glow. It's got kind of a citrusy sort of vibe to it. So all you do is take one of the little flavoring cubes like this and you drop it into your water bottle like so, and it will fizz as it dissolves. And then you are ready to go. So again, check out the link in the description box. Use my code CMindyMom for 15% off your order with Water Drop. These are really beautiful water bottles. They make great gifts as well as being just very practical. And thank you again to Water Drop for sponsoring today's video. It is Memorial Day. So thank you to our servicemen and women and their families who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We have spent a lot of Memorial Day weekend at home. We had a fantastic church service yesterday because it also happened to be Pentecost. And besides that, we have been to a friend's house to swim once. And we have been kind of just working in the yard, working around the house, just catching up on a few projects, also enjoying some time as a family, just watching movies, playing old school Nintendo. Today, I sort of raided the refrigerator, not sort of, I did. I raided the refrigerator and the pantry just for some odds and ends to throw together a real snacky lunch. I've also been working on cleaning out and cleaning up my freezers in preparation for summer. I would love to kind of start with mostly a clean slate because the kinds of things that I put in my freezer in the summer vary a little bit from the kinds of things that I'm usually having on hand in the winter. So my husband has been busy at the grill. The other night he grilled up some shrimp and sausage and veggies and a few random chicken legs, chicken drumsticks that I had in the freezer. And tonight he's gonna throw our last couple of steaks and salmon fillets from Good Shop on the grill. So really looking forward to that. And again, I'll kind of scrounge around the pantry and the fridge and see what I can come up with to go along with that so we can sort of finish just tidying up and cleaning out our freezers. For our freezers, in addition to the usual summer suspects like popsicles and frozen fruit for smoothies, I'm looking for some things that will be easy for the kids to pop into the air fryer for lunches. They do eat sandwiches and salads and wraps, but those things make it onto the menu for dinner during the summer a lot as well. So I thought I might look for some things that they could heat up without using the oven or the stove preferably. And I decided that I would go ahead and keep my, sorry, I realized as I was talking with you guys that there were two random things in the front of my cart. And I was like, who put the Centrum Silver in my cart? And then I realized I left my empty cart in front of the bathroom when I went in to use the bathroom really quick before I started shopping, and I must have grabbed the wrong cart that had like two things sitting in the front I didn't notice, so oops. Sorry if you were the shopper. I hope you found your things. I went back and put them back. A lot of these things were purchased in the name of easy breakfast and lunch options. Brick has been really into making smoothies, and I showed him how to do this himself with the Ninja blender, so he asked for some more frozen fruit for smoothies, and when they're not eating cereal for breakfast, they are often popping one of these into the toaster with peanut butter. I have some lunch meat here, and I was really excited to find the King's Hawaiian rolls there. They had these 32 count King's Hawaiian rolls for like $6.50 or so, and that's actually $1 less than the 24 count cost at Walmart. So I was really excited to see those. I will pop one of them in the freezer maybe, and my younger daughter loves these. She calls these minis. She just calls the rolls minis because she makes little mini sandwiches with them. She asks for them all the time, so she'll be ecstatic. I thought about making frozen pizzas myself to put into the freezer, like making them from scratch, freezing them before I cook them, and then the kids can cook them in the air fryer. And then I was like, No, I'm not gonna do that. These were like 14 bucks for 12 of them, so we're just gonna go with those. And I saw these and thought we would try them. The chicken and cheese quesadillas, my kids love these, but I don't always have cooked chicken for them, you know, to make up quesadillas, so thought we'd try those. And another air fryer option are chicken nuggets. They did have the Southern style that are sort of like the Chick-fil-A knockoff, but I seem to remember that we like these better, and it's a little bit better value because you get 4 pounds of them for only like $1 more than the 3-pound package of the Southern style. Also picked up 2 big containers of our favorite ranch. This is pretty much like maybe the only store-bought dressing that I buy, because vinaigrettes and things I will make myself, but this ranch is delicious, and the best value by far is at Sam's. It's got a long date if you don't open it up and keep it in the refrigerator. So I bought 2 of them, and also a big container of feta, which also lasts a long time in the refrigerator. And these were a splurge. They were clearanced out, the Lunchables. So I went ahead and picked up a package of them. There's 6 in here, 3 of the cheese and 3 of the pepperoni pizza. And McKenna likes the cheese and Brick likes the pepperoni. And we had to add a week to our school year because of snow days. So we are jumping right into a music camp that I am working and the babies are attending next week. So I decided I would just press the easy button until we kind of get our ducks in a row for summer and we can take these for lunches for that camp. And then I was so ecstatic to see the Baby Bells on sale. I can't remember the exact price, but it was really, really good. Like the cheapest I've ever seen Baby Bells. So I picked up 2 packages because they'll last a long time in the fridge. Okay, McKenna just informed me that they don't refer to these as minis. What do they call these, McKenna?
Britt calls them babies.
Babies. These are called babies. Baby rolls. This is what I went into Sam's for: paper towels, toilet paper, tissues. And then I also have a rotisserie chicken, which we're gonna eat for dinner tonight. The croissants, I sometimes will only buy at Sam's unless I see them on clearance other places, because $6 for 12 of them is a pretty good price. They're a lot pricier than that at other places that I've seen. I don't buy as many individual packages of snacks for the summer, but I do have some goldfish. These aren't the individual packages, just the big ones that I can pour into our containers. Tortilla chips, these big bags from On the Border were less than $5 a piece, and we eat those a lot. So I got some. I did get some packaged peanut butter crackers and then also some graham crackers. My kids have been really into gum the last year or so. And you know what? If it keeps them from snacking mindlessly and eating up all of the stuff that costs me money between meals, then I guess I'm okay with purchasing some gum. So hopefully this 20 packs of gum will last us for a while. And I splurged on the Fairlife chocolate milk. Somebody recommended these. They say that they're really good. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to use these to make iced coffee for myself. And we had these popsicles last summer, and they were really good. So I went ahead and picked up 2 boxes of the popsicles to pop into the freezer. I also ran into Aldi for a few things. Picked up a couple of different boxes of crackers for like homemade Lunchable type things. And it was news to me that McKenna actually likes Wheat Thins, which are thin wheat crackers at Aldi. Some cereal, including our favorite, the Honey Crunchin' Oats, because cereal will be probably the main choice for breakfast. And then these strawberry banana Cheerios that I got a few weeks back were on clearance, basically, at Aldi. So I picked up another box of those because we really liked them. A jar of queso. Love the granola in a yogurt parfait with fruit. These Hawaiian style bagels only come around in summertime. At least that's when I normally see them. So I picked some of those up. They're delicious, especially for sandwiches. And fitting, some whipped cream cheese. Also needed some more Parmesan cheese. Ruthie likes these pretzel slims. Well, all the kids like them. I picked these up as another easy lunch option that can be just heated up in the microwave. There are 8 cheese kolaches in here. I thought they were a fairly decent price for that. We love sausage rolls from the donut shop, and that's basically what this is. So I got 2 bags, some ranch seasoning, and then produce here. I got some zucchini and some lemons, peppers, strawberries, cucumbers, and apples. I'll also add that during the summertime, I don't buy as much frozen or canned produce or like applesauce cups as often because there's so much fresh stuff that is readily available in my area, and it's really inexpensive. I mean, I can basically get entire watermelons for like $5 or less all summer long. So it's really easy for me to go out, you know, at the beginning of each week and fill up our refrigerator with fruits and vegetables, which the kids are really good about eating, as well as my husband and I are really wanting those things. things. I decided this summer to really simplify our meal plan. Now, sometimes what we are eating, especially for dinner, depends on the videos that I am filming. But overall, I tend to cook a little bit less in the summertime. I just don't like to cook. I don't like to fire up my kitchen. It's not usually a time of the year when I'm feeling super inspired to come up with a bunch of like hearty comfort food dishes. So when I am not filming specifically for a video, and don't worry, I do still have some videos in mind to bring you guys with recipes and meal ideas. But when I'm not filming for a video, I put together a capsule of summer recipes that are easy and that my family really likes, that will be my go-tos. And I even put them in this little binder, and I made myself a little cover sheet to put in here. And I have 10 recipes, 10 meal ideas, if you can even call them recipes, because some of them are so simple, they're just 3 ingredients. And they will be our go-to meals in the summertime, the kinds of things that I'm going to have the ingredients already on hand, that will be like putting it on autopilot to put together. It's a mixture of meals that we can eat cold, meals that can be served warm, things for the crock pot, things that come together in just a few minutes, things that my kids can make, things that my husband can help me out with. I mean, literally one of the recipes is Daniel Grill's stuff and things. Which will just be whatever we have on hand or whatever he feels like picking up at the grocery store to grill, and I'll throw together, you know, veggies and fruit and stuff to go along with it. This helps me take the guesswork out of dinner. It saves me a lot of time and headaches when I don't want to really think about it. I just want to have something ready. And it doesn't mean we have to stick to that and only eat these recipes. Like I said, I'll be filming some videos with other recipes, and if I feel like making something else, I can. But when all else fails, I kind of have this list of recipes that are just go-tos and tried and true favorites of ours that we'll be utilizing. And if you want to know the exact recipes that I picked, I'm going to be doing a video about this specific concept and share with you the meals that we're going to have on repeat this summer and some other ideas for saving time and sanity in your summer kitchen. So look for that video to come out in a couple of weeks. I am on my way back from the school. I've never actually come out and said this before for safety reasons, but I walk my kids to and from school most days during the school year for the last 5 years. And I feel comfortable saying that now because as I film this, tomorrow is the last day of school. And by the time you see this, school will be out, and my kids are actually all graduating from, moving on from this particular school. So this is actually one of the last times I will make this walk. And I enjoy the fresh air and the exercise, of course, but especially in the mornings, I always like the walk back because I know I'm coming back to a quiet, still house, and that I'm gonna be really productive, not just with my YouTube work, but with my homemaking work, with things that I wanted to accomplish around the house and making our house a home for our kids and my husband and myself. And I had no idea when I quit my job 5 years ago, my day job teaching full-time, when we moved here to Tulsa, that I would grow to love this solitude so much, that I would grow to not only love it, but that I would grow to crave those quiet, still hours when it's just me in my house working. And I know that that is part of what I miss and what I mourn losing some in the summertime. And my husband is the one who came up with a solution for this, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. It's so obvious, and you probably have already thought of it too. But he said to me, Mindy, get up earlier. Now, I would consider myself to be a morning person. I like mornings. I'm most productive in the mornings. I don't usually have a problem like getting out of bed and getting going. I'm really energized in the morning. I'm just not a 5 a.m. morning person. In fact, I made a YouTube short about this very concept, about how you're probably not going to see any 5 a.m. mom morning routines from this particular mom. I don't set an alarm, and I just let my body wake up sometime between 6 and 7. But I'll admit that in the winter months when it's darker out, it's usually closer to 7. And if I were to bump that back to closer to 6, I would probably still have a couple of hours to myself in the mornings, because the kids, they stay up later in the summertime, so they sleep a little bit later. Instead of getting up around 7, they get up around 8. So if I actually roll out of bed when I'm usually waking up around 6 o'clock,
then I could have a couple of hours to myself in a quiet house to maybe come out on the patio and enjoy the best hours of the day in this particular part of the country during the summertime, the early morning hours. You know, having my coffee, having my Bible time. I would probably have a little time to sort of do a little housework, maybe even a little YouTube work, check emails while the house is quiet and before the day really gets going. So that is something that I'm going to try to add to bring just a little bit more peace and give myself back those solitary hours and that quiet time to myself that I really crave and miss during the summer.
The past several years, I think I have felt an obligation to keep my kids entertained all the time. And so I filled their schedules with things to do, with sports to play, with activities to go to, and camps to attend. And one thing that I have come to believe is that it's actually good for our kids to be bored on occasion. Sometimes boredom is actually the catalyst for the kind of creativity that is not only going to give them some fantastic memories, but maybe even help them learn something in the process. My husband and I have had a lot of conversations this past year about calming our schedule and what is really important for us and maintaining perspective about what we want these family years to be like. And that has led us to commit to fewer activities as a family and kind of prune what we were already committed to so we wouldn't feel so rushed and so busy constantly. And I am actually taking this concept into the summer with me. Yes, my kids are going to get to do some camps. They're going to get to play some sports. We are taking a trip together as a family at the end of the summer where my husband and I are going to work remotely in the mountains. But I really scaled back this summer on the things I said yes to for our kids and our family. And that means that they're going to have some days when they're in charge of entertaining themselves. And that means I'm going to be spending less time in the mom van over the summer and a little more time just chilling out. Now, when it comes to my kitchen, besides organizing it with the kinds of foods that we like to prep and eat during summer, I have to have a few ground rules in play, not just for my own sanity as a mom, but because this is where I work. I make content primarily for YouTube, and most of it is cooking content. A little bit of, homemaking and mom life content, but for the most part, this is like my office, right? I need to work here. And when I was teaching, if I had interruptions in my class, principals coming in and out, or other teachers, or office aides, or the intercom or something interrupting my lessons, it would be hard to get things done. And you might understand that if you work in an office setting, interruptions make it very difficult to be productive. And this is essentially my workplace. So I am going to try to implement some kitchen hours, some open hours for the kitchen. This may or may not be helpful for you. For me, it's a necessity if I'm going to keep up with my filming schedule during the summer, which is still a little different. I adjust the kinds of videos that I'm putting out. I do maybe a few less videos or a few more vlog style videos, keep it pretty casual, but I still have to work. My kids primarily make their own breakfast and lunch, and I need for them to have breakfast by 9 a.m. If they haven't had breakfast by 9 a.m., then they need to grab a piece of fruit and hold off until lunch. It's not gonna kill them. I want them to think about making their lunch sometime between noon and 2. Usually that's when we're done with morning activities, when I'm done with filming in the morning hours, when the light is really good in the kitchen. And as I said, I have kind of stocked our kitchen with some things that will be easy for them to prep for lunches, and I've even made a space for the air fryer so we don't have to fire up the stove and the oven very much. They can grab a snack sometime in the late afternoon, and then we'll have dinner when we have dinner, which is usually a little bit later in the summer because, it's light longer and we just tend to eat our meals a little later. Now, I'm not gonna be totally legalistic about this. I mean, if they walk through the kitchen sometime in the day and grab a piece of fruit or a popsicle, I'm not gonna get mad at them. I'm just thinking about trying to keep messes at a minimum so we aren't just constantly creating dishes and clutter and trash and always in and out of the pantry and the fridge all day long. It will make it a little bit easier for me to, as I said, maintain my summer sanity and get some work done. One of the things that has frustrated me about summers is that it seems like it's harder to keep up with the house. It seems like things get cluttered and untidy and dirty faster. And I finally realized, well, duh, that makes sense because we're actually home more. There are more of us home during the day. So things are going to get messier. things are going to get cluttered, things are going to get dirtier, bathrooms are going to need to be cleaned more often. And while we have a housekeeper who comes and does like a reset and changes the sheets and mops the floors and cleans the bathrooms for us every couple of weeks, that's not going to cut it in the summertime. We need to actually do a little bit more house cleaning than we're used to during the school year in order to keep up with the extra traffic in the house. And honestly, it's time for the children to learn a little bit more about these things, because I've probably been remiss in teaching them how to keep house and how to take pride in their home by keeping it tidy and by cleaning it. So we're going to have a little schedule worked out. We're going to have some extra chores for the children besides what they typically do for us throughout the school year. We're going to learn how to clean a bathroom. We're going to learn how to, do a little bit more around the house and in the yard. It will not only help us keep up with our own home, but I think it's a good skill for them to have. And I'll admit that I've probably been a little bit remiss in teaching them these things, but better late than never, am I right? Laundry is a fact of life in this household, no matter the time of year. But to make it a little bit easier in the summertime, I decided to pare down the kids' wardrobes. I have always kept sort of a capsule wardrobe, and I kind of wear just the same things over and over again until they wear out, or I decide to switch a few things out just to change it up. And even though I thought I was doing this with the kids as far as limiting my purchases where they're concerned, I would often find that their dressers were just overflowing with clothes, even though they really wore the same stuff over and over again, because kids have their favorites, right? So for summer, I decided that they only need about 7 or 8 kind of play outfits, just shorts and t-shirts. We keep it pretty casual, plus a couple of outfits to wear to church or out for nicer occasions. And we spent some time this last weekend sorting through that, getting rid of things that they don't like or that don't fit. And now they have kind of a pared down wardrobe, which will mean that they actually will need to do their laundry, every 5 or 6 days if they want to wear the things that they like. And this will keep the laundry from piling up so high that we have mountains and mountains to do at any given time. Hopefully it's just going to help keep it under control and also answer the question of what should I wear every day. They already know. They have a handful of outfits. That's all they need. There are some other expectations that we're setting out for the kids that we typically do in summertime, like reading goals, and we really limit screen time. And when we do have screen time, we tend to try to pick something that we can all watch together. And you'll be seeing some of those things play out in vlogs that I plan to post this summer. But let me know in the comments below, what are some things that you are doing to help prepare your family for summertime? Do you have any helpful tips? Is there something that I haven't thought of? Do you have a way to get your kids involved and have them help out around the house? I'm sure you would be helping me or maybe giving an idea to somebody else who's watching.